I checked it and I thought I liked it. And I'm like, no, not feeling it. It's too bright. Sorry, guys. Um, it's a little bit better. Right now, I just don't feel I look good at all. But it is what it is. It's not about my aesthetics. It's about making sure I give you guys a good message. So, with that said, again, this is Michelle here at Life Mantra Tarot. Welcome to my channel. If you're new, welcome, and thank you for tuning in. I hope you like what you see here. I hope that you end up deciding to, you know, subscribe to the channel, like the videos, and so forth. All those things are very helpful for me and my channel. Um, it's a mixed bag here. You get a little bit of comedy. You'll get a little bit of something still isn't right about this lighting. I don't know what the hell it is. But yeah, a little bit of comedy, a little bit of seriousness, and working on, you know, the spiritual journey, a little bit of everything. And for those of you who have already been rocking with me for a little bit, you guys are already aware of how things are on this channel. I feel like it's very insightful for a lot of people, and a lot of people enjoy it for that reason. So, with that said, you guys have already kind of seen what this message is going to be about. It is going to be a message about your life path and where you're at right now when it comes to your life purpose, so on and so forth. You know, what you could be doing at this time, what you are working towards, so on and so forth. We're going to look pretty deep into a lot of those different things, as well as a little bit of a bonus career and finance reading, because I personally feel like more times than not, our career and finances have been to fall very much in line, or should fall in line with our life path and where we're supposed to be going, right? What we're supposed to be doing with our lives. So with all that said, I'm not going to ramble on too much. I'm going to kind of just jump right in. I'm going to start with the tarot portion, which is kind of different for me because I usually start with oracle cards, but I'm going to start with the tarot and I'll move into the oracle cards to dive deeper into what I see, and then we'll go from there. So I've already cleansed the space, so we're going to get started. All right, Spirit, only let positive energy into this reading for the collective energy and what they need to see at this time for their highest good when it comes to their life path, as well as their career and finances. Only positive energy into this reading, please. What does the collective need to know at this time for their highest good? Okay, so first off, to start, we do have Eight of Swords here on the bottom of the deck. Hey, Monica, how you doing, love? We have Eight of Swords to start, just here on the bottom of the deck. So that's letting us know that, you know, you guys might be feeling very stuck right now, or at least stuck in your head, right? You know, the swords are all about like the mental and thinking. So it's giving me like overthinking possibly when it comes to your life path or your career and finances. Trust me, if anybody could resonate with that part of the message, it's me. So let's let's start pulling from the tarot, see what they have to say. All right, Spirit. So at this time, let's get a card that helps to signify what the collective, like what is their life purpose or their life path at this time. What are they supposed to be working on? Keep in mind, time is fluid. I feel like, you know, sometimes what we're doing at one point in our life is what we're meant to do at that time. And then it could kind of shift and change. There's things in my life that I'm like, oh, I would have never saw myself doing this. And, you know, and then I'm like, okay, now I'm moving on to the next phase of life. So, you know, you never want to be stuck doing just one thing, whatever that may be. So we're going to just kind of be looking at like the here and the now. So let's see what they say. And actually, yeah, I'm pretty good. My day this week has been interesting because we've been down staff at my job for like the whole week. I've been helping kind of sort of train new people who are not what we call PMT trained For those of you who ever worked with people with special needs and stuff, you have to be PMT trained. They call it different things depending on the state you live in, but it's basically to be able to manage physical aggression. Um, so a lot of my students have those kind of behaviors, and um, the fact that none of them really can do it, and I'm like the one who has to always jump in. I'm kind of like physically, I'm kind of like worn out, but I'm okay. Like it hasn't been that bad, you know. Um, Everybody who's been in my class loves my class, so I'm like okay. They're like, oh, I'm so happy I'm subbing in here again. You know, that other class, I didn't care for it. I'm like, yeah, once you come in my class and you get a taste of what it's like in there, how structured it is, then people are like, I don't want to go to the other classes. But there's that. All right, so anywho, back to the point. Enough of my blabbering. Okay. So, this is interesting. And I will say this because this is kind of reminiscent of what I saw when I did a similar reading for myself regarding the same type of spread. It's saying that you guys, like a lot of your life purpose, a lot of you guys, in terms of your life purpose or where you are on your life path, you're meant to help break the cycle of poverty. If that resonates, definitely let me know. Um, because it's the Five of Pentacles, but it's in the reverse. So between that and then we have the Ten of Cups on the bottom of the deck. So you might be like kind of redefining what marriage looks like, what the family dynamic looks like. This has also been a trend on this channel. I think another thing that you guys might be the ones working on, it's giving me like breaking generational curses too. I also am feeling that you guys are going to again redefine what marriage and that dynamic looks like, the home life with this Ace of Cups here on the top of the deck. It's like it's really giving me like getting out of like different types of poverty, because poverty isn't always just money, right? Poverty could be mental poverty, it could be emotional poverty, spiritual poverty, it could be anything. So I feel like, you know, for some of you, you'll resonate with the, you know, the financial part. For some of you, you might resonate with the family dynamic issue. For some, it might be a mix of both. So please take it as it resonates. But I do feel like, you know, you're meant to kind of set a new tone when it comes to these different dynamics. But again, this is one of those things you're confused about. You're thinking about it a lot, overthinking even. Maybe feel a little bit stuck right now when it comes to where you go from here, because it is something kind of new and different. When you're trying to figure out like what this is supposed to look like, how what you do with this information, it could be very much a daunting task for some. So let's look deeper into this. How will this look for the collective on a day-to-day basis? Like, what will this end up looking like? This life path or life purpose. Thank you. It's gonna feel a lot more enthusiastic than what you've maybe dealt with in the past. Page of Wands is here, so it's about good news, enthusiasm, optimism. So I'm kind of getting that. Um, I'm just getting that, just generally speaking, there's going to be this sense of, it's giving me like there's like brighter tomorrows. There's something to look forward to. Um, it's not going to feel so stagnant and stuck. Yeah, wow. The Wheel of Fortune is on the bottom of the deck here. So yeah, it kind of goes with what I just said. You know, literally a stroke of luck, right? And it's destined to happen this way. Ironically enough, one of the hashtags I have in the title of the video is fate. And it literally talks about fate on this card. It literally says it on here. So this is like fated to happen this way. You know, you had to go through certain obstacles and stuff in life, you know, experience certain things, learn certain things in order to get to where you are going, like in the near future, or where you're currently at even, and continue to grow and expand from there. But it's just a matter of keep, you know, keeping a sense of truth and structure for yourself. King of Swords on the top of the deck. Some of you might have air in your chart. Um, yeah, so, making sure that, I'm getting like planning ahead, I'm getting being logical, being decisive. It's okay to be, optimistic and, courageous and stuff, but you don't want to, be like, how can I say, I would say like be cautiously optimistic, if that makes any sense. You know what I mean? Like sometimes, we set ourselves up when we expect too much or something like that. So like, if this is, about setting that new tone when it comes to, this poverty stuff, right? It's like, okay, well, that takes a lot of planning, right? That's not something that happens overnight. You're going to have to think about it. You got to sit down and plan and map things out. You can't just, do it all willy nilly, as my grandmother would say. Um, but yeah, we also have the Six of Pentacles here, like that card in this particular energy, because that's all about generosity. It's about money. It's about support. Um, like I know that card means like typically like about generosity, give and take, that type of thing, fairness. But some other meanings that it has is also things like being feeling valued or being well paid, gratitude, prosperity, right? So there's a lot of pentacles that have been showing up, which is a good sign, because I mean that is what we're trying to look into. So I mean, the fact that we got the pentacles coming in, we've got some wands coming in, which is about passion and feeling that that fire in your gut to pursue something, right? We're getting that type of energy coming in. So there's this the enthusiasm, the courage, right? But then now it's also the planning and the pragmatic part of it all too. I hope that makes sense so far. Tell us more. Let's learn more about maybe some strengths that the collective possesses that will help when it comes to their life path and their life purpose. Thank you. All right. So one of your strengths is that we have the Seven of Cups here. I'm getting hey Jose, how are you? Good to see you here. Jose and I went to school together, so say hello to the comadres as they start stepping into the chat. um, so I've known him for, we don't have to age ourselves here too much, but I've known him for like 20 something years. But that's besides the year. Besides the point. But yes, it's giving me that you guys, one of your strengths is that you're a dreamer, right? You guys have a lot of hopes and aspirations. You have options. You have ideas out the wazoo. That's not something I would typically say. So I don't know if that's like meaningful to somebody here. Like maybe like someone's like, I'm getting like a grandparent or like somebody who's like older might have said something like that. That's like nobody really says things like that out the wazoo. So yeah, you right. We're only like we're very 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 young, right? We're as young as we feel. Yeah, we're as young as we feel. I feel old, but anyway, you know, I am still the tender age of 16. I'm a youngin'. We keep telling ourselves that, but yeah, I am getting like folks who are because this is a strength here. Like I said, very imaginative. You guys have a lot of great ideas. Now it's just about putting them into fruition. So yeah, I don't know where this is coming from, but some of you might be like big like fans of like Disney or cartoons. Um, and it might not be the people who are currently in the chat, but it could be people who end up showing up later. Um, I'm getting like that kind of energy. Like I just kind of like got a little bit of a chill over my arm when I said that. Like I felt like really giddy, like a little kid, like going to like Disneyland or something. Like you guys have like so many cool, inspiring, and intuitive. Not intuitive. That's not the word. And I just heard ingenuity. Like I heard something like that, like really cool ideas that like there's not a lot of people doing these things, but it's about, that sense of remaining optimistic and enthusiastic about these ideas and how to approach them. So I'm hoping that makes sense. um like I said, that's not going to be for everybody, but that seems very specific. um when you think about Disney, right, it's like the happiest place on earth, right? You're doing something that's like super fun, and like I'm getting a sense of like innocence, or like, and when I say innocence, I mean in the sense of like it's something that's so like meaningful and fun and new that you feel like super giddy when you think about it. I hope I know like the way I'm wording it probably doesn't make sense. I'm hoping it makes sense, but that's the energy I'm picking up on. It's like just sitting down and like, oh my god, I have all these ideas. It's just like mapping it out and putting it on paper, and like talking to a friend or a close person to me, and like explaining my ideas and like trying to get feedback, confirmation. This is a brand new freaking ring light, and the light is still on. I kid you guys not. Let me show y'all. The light is, oh, now it wants to not do it. The light was on this little switch. There's a little thing right there. There's a light that usually shines if the thing is plugged in. It's not shining now. I don't understand why, because it was just on like 2 seconds ago. But I'm not touching a plug or anything. That did the same thing when I was doing a reading the other day. So I'm not gonna go trying to fiddle around and mess with it and figure anything out. If it comes back on, it comes back on. If it doesn't, it doesn't. Hopefully the lighting is decent, because I'm not dealing with that right now. But anywho, but that is weird. I'm gonna pay attention to it to see if it like starts like lighting up again. This is a new ring light. I don't think it's defective, but sometimes when I do readings, I do notice that it goes in and out. So we'll see. But anyway, how can the collective use this strength or their strengths when it comes to their life path and their life purpose? What can they be doing with that? Claire's most accurate message. Thank you. Ah. Got the Wheel of Fortune officially out on the spread. So I'm getting that they're saying because I mentioned fate earlier because this card had came up, but now it's on the actual spread. I'm getting that they're basically saying that like it's a time confirmation. I just got a text from my one of my clients at the same time, and I just did a reading like this for her last night. So there you go. How funny is that? But I feel like they're saying that in order to really bring this stuff into fruition, there are going to have to be cycles to be changed, or to end. You know, um, sorry. I just heard. I don't know if any of you guys are Fleetwood Mac fans, but I just heard a song called "The Chain" by Fleetwood Mac. It's just giving me like talking about severing chains of things that no longer serve you. Things that you thought that were still good for you that no longer are, and like figuring out, okay, so what do I do with this information? What do I do with this? How do I move forward from this? And that could also explain why that Seven of Cups is there. Sometimes, when you're a dreamer and you care, too much about certain things, it's like, oh, I can make this work, or things are gonna be great. And it's like, again, and I there's a reason why I said something about what did I say? I said something about optimism, but I said cautious. Yeah, cautious optimism. Like, when you're overly optimistic, because that is a thing, you know what I mean? You can kind of set yourself up for failure. So you have to, find a balance between being, hopeful and enthusiastic, and also pragmatic and, logical, right? We saw that energy earlier. So I do feel like they're saying, being able to know the things that you need to kind of sever ties from, things that have been holding you back, whether it's jobs that no longer serve you, certain people in your energy who no longer serve you, so on and so forth. Whatever that means for you, it's going to be different for everybody. 20 minutes on the clock when I said that. Um, giving me the it's giving me the number two. There's two people in the room right now. Um, it's about choices, right? So the number, you might be seeing the number two a lot, which is all about choices. And I just heard another Fleetwood Mac song. You can go your own way, go your own way. It's like you got to make your own way. You got to go where you have to go, where you're being led to go. And sometimes that's gonna hurt. Depending on the situation, if it's like leaving people behind or certain things that you thought were good for you behind, it's like, oh boy, I gotta say bye to this. Like, this is not fun. Severing those ties, turning that karmic wheel around into a new direction, closing out those old cycles. This is where really your fate is kind of in your hands in a way, because like I do feel like things are mapped out for us, right? However, um, we still have free will. So being able to be decisive about what it is that we want to pursue in our lives, and whatever facet that may be, we have that free will. So it's up to us to make those conscious decisions about what works for us and what's best for us, and leaving those things behind that have been kind of weighing us down. Easier said than done, I know. Trust me, I get it. Yes, and you're absolutely right. Walking by faith is definitely hard because and that's where like that cautious optimism comes in, right? Because if you put everything just in faith all the time or optimism all the time, again, it's like, okay, well, do I have free will here? You know what I mean? And yeah, we do. We all have free will. So it's like, it's about that balance. There's this is definitely going with the theme of the reading. So be patient with me as I try to explain it, and try not to get too wordy because I definitely talk a lot. I'm sorry, I apologize. I am my father's daughter for sure. Um, very very much so. Because that man can talk. Love you, Dad. But yeah. So what I was going to say, there's manufactured um manifestations, and then there's surrendered manifestations, and the difference is when you have what is called the manufactured manifestation, it's when you understand that you have the ability to manifest something. So you say, oh, I'm gonna do this. Oh, I'm gonna own a villa in Malibu this time next year. And you start putting foot to the pavement to make it happen. You start to be the one in control of how you get there, versus surrendered manifestations, where that's like prayer, that's you know candle magic, if you believe in that kind of thing, so on and so forth. That kind of thing, where you leave it up to God or the universe, whatever you believe in, right? But you just kind of say, okay, this is what I want to do. I personally believe that whenever you manifest anything, there's a sense of balance between it, or in it, within it, where you have to be able to be cognizant enough of the fact that yes, there are parts that you can control. However, there are parts that you can't control. The things that you can't, the things that you can, okay, cool, right? So it's just about being able to know the difference. I hope that makes sense, and I hope that that resonates. But yeah, that seemed like it was something I needed to say, so I figured I'd put that out there. All right. All right, Spirit. So what's something that the collective could work on at this time? Like, I don't like the word weakness, but like, let's say what might be lacking, or something that the collective could be working a little bit more on at this time. Thank you. As I just talked about manifestations, the magician is here. That's all about manifestation. Wow, it literally says it right here. Wow, you can't make this shit up. Yeah. Again, knowing your capabilities, right? When it comes to being able to manifest the things that you want. You're more than capable to create your reality, the things you want in this reality. However, you might not have the faith in yourself sometimes, perhaps. Maybe you're kind of guarded. Maybe you feel a little bit tired, right? With this Nine of Wands on the bottom of the deck, it feels like an ongoing battle all the time. You feel weary, you feel drained, and it's like, it's almost like, when the fuck am I gonna get there? You know what I mean? You're on a desert and you're like parched for water. You're like, when am I gonna get to a place with like water or something to like nourish me and help me? Because like, it just feels so tiresome. Like, that's a weird ass analogy, but it just popped in my head. I saw it very vividly. Yeah, it's the fears and distractions and delusions and stuff that might keep you held back. The moon is on the top of the deck. um yeah, so now it's the time to cut those things out. King of Swords is here for a second time in the reading. Really know your truth and stand in it. you know you're more than capable of doing it. It's just a matter of understanding what you're capable of doing. And again, the things that you feel that you struggle with, there's ways to work on those things, right? You can, when it comes to manifestations, there's so many ways to manifest things that we want. Like I said, the power of prayer, if you believe in that, because I don't like to put any beliefs onto anybody. Whatever you believe in is what you believe in. Some people like to meditate. Some people like to, pray to nature. I mean, literally, whatever works for you. I'm not here to tell you what to do when it comes to that, because there could be a lot of great future movement, quick movement, confirmation. There could be a lot of great movement for you with this Chariot here. That's all about success and victory and moving on, completing cycles. So you're leaving this stuff behind, the stuff that no longer works for you, right? Let's get, how can you maybe overcome this? I think a better word to use than weakness is obstacle. Let's work on that word. I like that. How can the collective work on or overcome this obstacle? Hey, how are you? Wow, I'm just seeing some awesome people here. I love it. I love it. Soulful King here is an amazing reader and healer. Yeah, he is the shiznit. Great person. I don't know him like personally, but I've had a couple of conversations with him, and my girl Lati, which I hope she pops up too. They're good friends. That's how I came across him. So again, he's an amazing reader. For those of you who would like to purchase decks, he's made an amazing deck that I still have to purchase, but money's been a little bit tight, so I do plan on purchasing it. But thank you for being here. I greatly appreciate you. All right, so we have here talking about how you can overcome this. We got two things that came out together. Love you too. So we have the King of Wands. King of Wands is about business, okay? The King of Wands, he knows he's the shit, and this is what you guys have to understand. You guys just have to recognize your power. I said that already. Recognizing your power as this magician, knowing you can manifest whatever the hell it is you want. You just got to put in the work, right? And release the things that don't work for you. So, decisive, in charge, right? All about his shit. So, and he's very independent. He's a leader, right? So keep in mind that with them saying that this is what you can be doing to work on this obstacle, so to speak, they want you to be more confident in what it is that you can do, right? And let go of the fact that sometimes you have these self-doubts. I'm getting self-doubt and self-delusion. I'm also getting ego death. The reason, excuse me, confirmation. I always say when I do a reading and I burp, or there's some sirens outside or alarms going off outside, because it happens every time. In this case, my ring light decided to go off by itself. I didn't even touch it. Y'all witnessed it. This has been happening a little bit with my technology stuff at home. A lot of stuff going off by itself. I wouldn't be shocked if my smart TV were to go to Netflix by itself. It's done it during readings before. But anyway, I say all of that to say, letting go of anything that has been, holding you down. I've talked about this more than once in the reading. A second ago, the point that I was about to make was there was three people in here and one like it's giving me ego death. And okay, we're back to it now with the numbers. It's giving me ego death. And I also am getting that, another thing that might be very important is being able to know what to pour into, what to give into, right? With this Six of Pentacles on the bottom of the deck. When you're constantly overpouring, a very common theme on these these readings on this channel as of lately, a lot of people have been overgivers and overextending into people, situations, whatever, that don't serve them anymore. That's why people tend to resonate these messages and end up following or subscribing. So it's kind of giving me that vibe. It's like, hey, how do I rid myself of this? You're going to have to kind of let a part of yourself really go, this old version of yourself, so to speak, who keeps on, pouring into connections or situations that no longer serve you, whatever that looks like for you. I know that I tend to overextend in situations in which, I don't know what it is, but for so long, I've wanted to help fix people. Healing people is one thing, but fixing people, that's different. You know what I mean? Because that's like saying someone's broken. And first off, I don't like to believe that people are broken to begin with, right? It's not that people are broken. It's just people need to work on healing, right? Big difference. But for a long time, I wanted to fix people. I'm like, oh, especially guys. Oh gosh, like when I'm dating or whatever. My God, shit show. So it's like, so a little bit of oversharing. I've attracted guys who I tend to want to fix. There's something wrong with them. I'm using air quotes here because this is not the case at all to describe these folks, but this is how I felt in these moments. And, oh, wow, they have all these issues. They have mommy issues. They don't have a job. They have all this bullshit. And I'm like, but I can fix them. And it's like, bitch, what are you doing? Captain Save over here. And I'm just like, I have to stop doing that. I have to stop. I need to have a person who is equally yoked. I need to have a person or meet a person who is working on themselves the way I'm working on myself. A person who's been doing the work, a person who's growing and expanding. It's not to look down on a person who hasn't done that. It just means we're on different paths or different parts of our path, right? Make sure I say that because I'm not a judgmental person. So all I'm saying is I had to go through an ego death where I had to learn that I can't keep doing that. I can't keep attracting these kind of people into my life. So you guys might resonate with something similar. I'm just saying. So yeah, whatever that ego death looks like for you, that's something that they're saying that, it's time to work on that and get a little bit more sense of ownership when it comes to working on that so you can manifest and do what it is that you want to do. So I hope that made sense. um, what else we got? Top of the deck. Ah. And they're basically saying, like, once you start understanding that, that's when things start to kind of open up with the Page of Pentacles here. You'll start to see things like opening up, new opportunities starting to happen, whether it's in the form of finances or whatever. Just in general, you'll just start seeing doors of opportunity coming towards you where you're going to be like, oh, crap. This makes a lot of sense. Like, now I get it, People kept saying, gotta let these things go. Sirens, I don't know if y'all just heard that. Now there's like a loud car going by, but there were sirens and then a loud car. But yeah. And they're like, and that's how you get to this, right? This Ten of Pentacles, that sense of stability. And, I just heard camaraderie, like being able to, that's large sums of money, financial stability, um, generational wealth, so on and so forth. I mean, this is a reading technically about, career and finance and stuff like that and how it relates to your life path. So I'm hoping that is matching up and it's making sense. Let's see. What else does the collective need to know here? Let's get maybe Um, some another piece of advice maybe of what the collective could be doing in this particular scenario, like what they're dealing with here. What else do they need to know? Thank you. This card came up like 3 or 4 times now. King of Swords. You got to be discerning. You got to cut shit out that, that doesn't work. You got to see your truth. And the more that you understand what that looks like for you, because nobody can tell you that but yourself, right? That's where discernment comes in. They're basically just saying, seek out your own truth and live that shit, you know? Um, yeah, there you go. Stand your ground. 7 of Wands on the bottom of the deck. I'm about to say the damn deck unintentionally. It was just gonna come out that way. Yeah, and that's the motherfucking truth. Come on now, Spirit. All right, they ain't playing. They ain't playing. They're like, look, they need to know this, and that's one of the things that it will end up leading to ultimate happiness in your life, right? For yourself. Ace of Cups. Ace of Cups, usually is like a romantic card, but when I read that card, especially in a case like this, I feel like it's more so just saying the sense of, you know, intrinsic happiness, where you're not having to look outside of yourself anymore to feel happy. You actually are just happy. And then, anything else that happens positive in your life, it just adds to it. It's not something that, you have to rely on it for it to make you happy. I hope that makes sense. Looking for it within, like that. What's the likely outcome? Thank you. There you go. As we're talking about overall happiness and intrinsic happiness, Queen of Cups. She's very happy, you know. And it's because, she's emotionally fulfilled. So it's giving me that, this sense of feeling a great sense of emotional fulfillment, as opposed to feeling like, you know, maybe only the financial part or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, this is like saying that you're going to feel that happiness all around. Yes, on top of the finances. You can't make this shit up even if you wanted to. 9 of Pentacles, financial independence, right? Being well off by yourself. You don't need to outsource that energy and put it onto other people. You got it on your own. Love that. Because you've closed out or about to close out those cycles that no longer serve you. The world is here. So successful completion. It's given me, we also saw the Chariot. So I mean, you guys are moving on past the cycles, right? You're learning the lessons. You're doing what you need to do to get to where you're going, you know. And I feel like, you're finding balance. You're finding a sense of resourcefulness in your life. Um, I'm also getting, though, don't go back and forth about too many decisions. Start being concrete about the decisions that you need to make or want to make, because, you know, you don't want to be wishy-washy, right? You want to be able to lay your feet upon a solid foundation. So if you're back and forth like a game of freaking double dutch, where you're like, am I gonna jump into this rope? You know what I mean? You gotta be able to trust in yourself, your instincts, right? Your intuition, and be able to say, okay, now I got this. And God got me too, or whatever you believe in. My ancestors, the universe, whatever. I believe in a little bit of all of it. They got my back, my spiritual team got my back. You got to have that mindset. And when you start to say that to yourself, like, okay, yeah, I got this. I got this. That's when you're going to start seeing a lot of more, positive things happening. It's starting to get dark in here, and whatever happened to the light, it just isn't, it didn't come back on. So I'm not sure what's going on, but I'm gonna increase the light on the other light. I got on a little booty shorts, so I apologize. That should help a little bit. And I'm back. All right, so I'm going to drink a little bit of a margarita, because I do have it on the side over here. I didn't touch it yet. I bought like a Jose Cuervo margarita thing on Monday, never touched it. I was like, you know what? Why the hell not do it now? So yeah, we're gonna also pull from the my little money deck over here that I really like. When I say my, I don't mean like like my deck. I didn't make this deck. But what I'm saying is, like, I bought it for like 80 bucks. So yeah, it's mine. So yes, we're gonna look into this one. Oh, also guys, if you're resonating with the message, definitely hit that like button, um or send some reactions. Continue to comment in the comment section because I am reading the comments, and grateful for you guys for being active. You guys are awesome. All right, so let's pull a few from here. Let's do like maybe 3 or 4. Thank you. Come on now. I ain't playing with y'all. You guys are the magician. You guys are manifesting. You guys are capable of so many things. You guys have to recognize it within yourself, okay? So it says, you have all the tools you need to increase your income. Good fortune is coming soon. An opportunity may come to you where you can showcase your talents. Y'all, I like that for you guys. I like that. That's just on the bottom of the deck. So let's see what else comes out. Let's get a few from here. Like I said, maybe 3 or 4. And I'm going to also kind of touch up on maybe like your soul gifts and spiritual gifts, and see what pops up there. All right. Ooh, cool. I like it. All right, so some of you might resonate with this, of being a writer of some sort. Excuse me. So it says, your words have power to influence others. Find out how you can contribute. A career in social media management, book writing, content writing, or blogging could be for you. Use words and visualize it as you write them to manifest more money into your life. What? What? It came out along with Gaia, which says, spend time with nature to be healed, soothed, and regroup. Protecting the planet, herbalism, livestock, or working with nature could be for you. The universe is working with you. Believe in its subtle magnetism to guide you. I like it. So spending more time outdoors, maybe writing something outdoors, might be helpful. This is very specific for somebody. If there's anybody who's been working on like being like a herbalist of some sort and thinking about like making recipes for like teas or something like that, or some type of like herbal medicine type of thing, they're letting you know that this is your time to do something like that. That could be something that could really be helpful for others as well as yourself. Wow, that's pretty cool. I don't know much about that, so hey, if that resonates, I mean, that's pretty cool. I like that energy. I'm trying to learn more about it, but I don't know enough to be sitting there writing no books or anything like that. We have the artist. So some of you might be creatives. Focus on finding the beauty in your day-to-day life. The artist can be a photographer, painter, film, graphic artist, or web designer. If you can't make a living with your art full time, start part time and just get started. So some of you might be into the arts in some kind of way, shape, or form, or some type of designing and things like that. So start off small. Like, you don't have to try to build a whole business off of that stuff starting out. Like, that's not realistic, right? Remember, we were talking about being practical. We can't just go throwing ourselves to the wolves and then be sad and disappointed when things don't work out. Build a foundation, a solid foundation, build an audience, that type of thing. I'm getting from that. Let's get maybe 1 or 2 more from this deck. Thank you. Leadership. And I said something about this earlier. Leadership. It's time to take a step into the leadership role in your own life. I said that. You can expect to succeed in any leadership positions. Your finances will greatly improve once you accept and step into your power. Wow. That doesn't go back to some stuff we just said earlier in this reading. Let's get 1 more from here. Again, if you guys are resonating with the message, please hit the like button. It just helps me get more people watching and stuff. I've noticed that like I'm getting, every time I do a reading past a couple of weeks, I'm getting like a couple of people who like it, and like it's, it starts off with just a couple of people and it'll get bigger. So I'm trying to grow this channel. Trying to grow it. So 4455 when I said that. So yeah, those little things help big time. You don't realize it, if you're not making the content, but it definitely helps. The comments, the checking in, the likes, all that stuff definitely helps. What else we got here? We have mistakes. A past mistake left you financially insecure and unsure of what to do. Your current financial situation was your own doing. Accept responsibility for it. Learn from your mistakes and let it go. You will get through it. So just learning from our mistakes, right? I'm gonna say our, because I know that I've stayed at jobs too long and shit like that, and lost out on or missed out on opportunities that I could have possibly had, that had I made better decisions, I lost out on. I know they say, like, what's free won't pass you, but if you make confirmation, if you make silly mistakes or decisions, and it's your own doing, that's different, right? So being, mindful of your decision making is always important. So we learn from our mistakes, right? We move forward and work towards the stability here on the bottom of the deck. Your financial future promises to be stable and prosperous. Take control of your finances to create stability in your life. Excellent time to take action on any money related ventures. So if you've been thinking about any like creative projects or anything, this is the reason why I got drawn to do this reading in the first place. I don't think I've done any. I think I've only done like one or two financial readings on this whole channel so far, and I'm happy that at least there are people watching, because I didn't really get many hits on it the last time. But it shows that people are really in a space of wanting to work on their stability, and figure out how do they use their God-given gifts and turn them into stability here in the 3D world, right? Balance. We have, as I say, balance, justice. Can't make this shit up even if you wanted to. Something in your life needs to be brought into alignment in your life. That's like a redundancy. They didn't have to say that both times, but I didn't make the deck. I do like the deck though, so let me stop criticizing. Your career may be in law, such as police, military, and courts, or the criminal justice. Like they didn't have to say the criminal justice; they could have said criminal justice, but whatever. Be sure to be honest and ethical in money matters, or you'll face the consequences. So it's definitely giving me this sense of, again, balance. It literally has the scales, right? Balancing the scales. It's also giving me, some of you might have Libra in your charts, but the scales are balancing. Hey, Jen, how are you? Welcome to the channel and to the reading. Middle of the deck, we have ask for help. Consider asking for help with regard to your financial problems. Look at your financial situation from a new perspective. You still have some resources remaining. I said something about resourcefulness earlier, interestingly enough. But yeah, they're just saying, like, for those of you who do have a hard time asking for help, raise his hand. Who try to do everything on your own or figure it all out on your own. There's nothing wrong with being able to sorry, I'm trying to find my other deck that I wanted to use. Where did I put it? I have decks everywhere, guys. I apologize. Oh boy, where did I put them at? That's strange. Anyway, let me finish what I was saying, and then I'll try to find them. They're gonna pop up out of nowhere and be like, "Oh, there they go." But yeah. So what I was trying to say was, sometimes, we have a hard time, asking for help. We want to try to do everything on our own. We're very headstrong. I'm going to say we because I fall in that category. Very headstrong individuals, prideful even. Might have Leo in your chart somewhere. And just want to do everything by yourself. Or you don't want like handouts, or you don't want people talking about you and saying, oh yeah, well I helped so and so, blah blah blah. And it's like you want to just be self-made and all that. I get it. But there's nothing wrong with being able to rely on the right people who don't look at it like that, who aren't gonna try to throw you under the bus, you know what I mean? Um yeah, being able 49 when I said that, like when you start to realize like they're like not everybody is out to get you in that way, out to try to make you feel like crap for needing help and things like that. Not everybody has those intentions. So when you're able to recognize that, it makes things a lot better. um but trust me when I tell you, I definitely understand what that feels like. There they go. I knew they were somewhere. I'm like, I just had them. They were under a box, that's why. But yeah, so it's like, once you start to realize, these things, that's when, you know, things could kind of like lighten up for you too. When you feel like you're doing everything on your own, that could be a very daunting task for sure. All right, so let's get maybe 3 cards from here. This is going to be very specific for some people. It's not going to resonate with everybody, but I do hope that somebody who watches ends up resonating with it. So this is about spiritual gifts and like your soul's purpose, which is the whole point of this reading. So like I'm hoping that you get a couple of messages that resonate with somebody. All right, so let's get like maybe 3 or 4. All right, we have Stargazer. Some of you might have Sagittarius in your chart. You set your sights high, aim to reach your goals. You go beyond limitations. The impossible is possible. So remember I was saying, that's kind of funny, when I was talking about being like a dreamer, right? Like he has, I just heard head in the clouds. Like he has his head in the clouds, right? And it's like, like I said, I feel like you guys are like, you're dreamers. You know that you have these like these gifts or these ideas, and it's like, wow, I can do anything to like get to really put them into fruition. Like I'm getting like that type of energy. You guys are so capable though. A lot of great ideas. It's just a matter of, turning those dreams into reality. All right, so let's get like 3 or 4 from this deck. I think 3 will be fine. Unless I feel the need to draw more. We have mediator, assists and guides others to reach a resolution. Peacemaker, balance and harmony. Remember I said some of you guys might be, well, I'm getting 2 different things here. I'm getting possibly Leos. I mean, not Leos. Libras, but I'm also getting Sagittarius. I was picking up on both of those signs earlier too. You guys like to find a sense of peace and balance. So it's giving me like the Justice card / like the Temperance card. Really liking to help other people in some capacity, or just having a natural knack for doing so. Thank you. Companion. You strive for loyalty, unselfish persona. You cater to your person's wants and comfort. So you guys are really just loving people, giving people. This is kind of giving me like a romantic kind of thing, but I think in general, because there's a lot of hearts here. Some of you might have water in your chart too. Take that as it resonates. But yeah, it's like you guys are very caring, loving people, and you care about how other people are treated. You want to be the one to help others feel like they're valued and cared for and loved, which is a beautiful energy to have, if that makes sense. Let's get 1 or 2 more. Being that this is such a general reading, like it's probably not going to have like cards that dive really deep down into like specific gifts, spiritual gifts and stuff, because there's just going to be too many people who end up watching later. But I will say that there's like a general consensus here of people who are very loving and giving people. All right, so we got 3 cards that came out together. We have Hermit. Seek solitude to go down. Sorry, it's a weird way that they have it formatted on the thing, so it's a little confusing because they have everything in like it's like staggered, and then it's some letters are capitalized and some aren't. So yeah, whoever edited these, and but anyway, seek solitude to go down your own pathway of wisdom. Focus intently on inner life, working on personal creativity. Yeah, so hermit mode. Um, yeah. So I think a lot of you guys are in hermit mode. I think that's what they're trying to say. I also think that it's saying that you guys strive when you, or thrive is a better word. You guys thrive in those times when you're alone. It allows you to, face challenges and do what you need to do for yourself so that when you come out each time, you come out a stronger, better version of yourself because you are also a chameleon. So this one says you can easily adapt to any environment and change your opinions or behavior according to the situation. So you're able to adapt. You're very adaptable people. And I think of that sense of adaptability comes from that hermit because you've seen a lot, you've had to experience a lot, had to grow a lot, and now it's like, okay, well, I take these moments of this downtime and alone time to be able to do what I need to do for myself, so that I can, easily adapt to what I need to do to be around others. Hopefully that makes sense. Um, we have Virgin, maintaining the purity and innocence of the heart. Remember I said something about innocence earlier? That's interesting. And soul, special connection to the divine source. So you guys are a very pure heart, very pure heart. So again, all the lessons that you've had to learn, some of those lessons might have been hard because, some of those lessons might have been like really just like a big slap in the face, like of reality, a big dose of reality all coming at you at one time. And it's like, well, shit, that fucking hurt. Like, did it have to be that hard? You know what I mean? But again, these were things that needed to happen in order for you to be able to adapt to different situations and surroundings and being around different people, so on and so forth. So, I hope that makes sense. But yeah, that's what I got from that. Bottom of the deck, we have teacher. Valuable life lessons, exactly that hermit mode that we were talking about before, to engage with others, constructive criticism, collaboration, patience, and enthusiasm. Here on the bottom of the deck. So I feel like some of you guys are like natural, like born teachers. Um, yeah, girls. You could say that again. You could say that again. Excuse me. Protector. Guardian to, there you go. Guardian to others by looking out and keeping them safe out of harm's way. Again, I said that, making people feel safe around you, right? Because of your sense of loyalty and that sense of comfort that people feel around you. Goes right back to that. Natural protectors. Wow, this is so nice. I like this. Um, wow, catalyst. You are a human catalyst. You have helped others to set it off. So sorry, I'm gonna start over because what the hell? Can't talk. Um, you are a human catalyst. You have helped others to set off into their own spiritual transformation. There we go. So catalyst of change, right? Um, that chameleon, between like the chameleon, the hermit, right? These cards that we're seeing, the teacher, right? Because of, those different situations that have happened in your life. I'm actually shocked that we didn't see the tower at some point in this reading. Um, your own tower moments and things like that have happened that have helped you, in your sense of growing and expanding in your life, right? The things that were the catalyst of your change, you're able to now help other people see that change. Remember, I talked about ego death earlier, right? We're kind of going back to that. Same thing going on up in the numbers as earlier with the 3 people in here and the 1 light. What's that number backwards? 13. What is the 13? The death card. The death card is all about death and rebirth, ego death. So it's giving me that. And again, I really like that for you guys because it's letting me know that you guys have, you've been doing a lot of work on yourself, a lot of the inner work to help grow, change, expand. And that's what's going, I feel like a big part of what you're meant to do is help other people on their paths. It's very, very evident here. Now that's going to look different for each person, of course, but I do feel like you guys are put here to help other people in some capacity. Um, like using myself as an example, I've been through a lot in my life. I've seen a lot. And, between, childhood, adulthood, um, relationships, so on and so forth, abusive relationships, a lot of different things that I've witnessed and seen. I've dealt with poverty, all kind of stuff. And, I'm able to take my own personal experiences and talk about them and use this as something like this as my platform to help other people on their paths and figuring out what they're meant to do, right? That catalyst of change. So I feel like a lot of you guys probably will resonate with that part of the message to some capacity. Again, how you do it is going to look different for everybody. But remember, like for instance, we saw a writer, right? Might be helping write books, or you might be a writer of books, so on and so forth, right? Um, of course, take it, as it resonates. It's going to be different for everyone, right? So I have another career deck here, and then after this, I'm gonna pull from I have an entrepreneur deck for those of you who might be trying to like start some type of entrepreneurial opportunity of some sort. Trying to make sure I cover my bases so that you guys get the best out of your uh, your experience of this reading, and we're gonna go from there. And yes, 13 is actually my favorite number as well, Jose, because I was born on the 13th, actually a Friday the 13th, and I used to joke with my mom. I'd be like, "Mom, was like bad luck?" And she's like, "Girl, you were like the best thing that ever happened to me." I'm like, "Thank you, Mom." I was like her late birthday present. But anywho, we got here. Show empathy. Hi, show empathy. How are you? Welcome to the channel. Welcome to the reading. All right, Spirit, what else can we tell our collective here about this energy? Ooh, you have an interview tomorrow. Nice. Good luck in advance. Now that you're here, maybe some of your energy will show up in this too. I'm great, thank you. All right, so new person in the room, possible new energy too. We do have new life here. I like that energy. Just in general, for anybody who ends up resonating with this, I'll read the card. It says, you may get a fresh start or be called to bring a new perspective to your old job. You may also get a tempting job offer or a new place. Nice. Hey, love of truth. Another great tarot reader who I watch as well. Look at this. Look at this soul tribes coming together. I love it. I love it. I love it. All right, what we got here? So after that new life card, we have progress. It seems like a long slog, but your efforts will pay off soon. Stay on course for at last a few more months before making a change. Stay on course for at least a few more months before making a change. So for some of you, I had to reread that because like I don't have my glasses on, so I'm just like look at them like, did I read that right? I had to reread it. Like some of the letters started like blending together. All right. When I started doing like this, like really hard, it's because I haven't had my glasses on in so long, so I need a new prescription. So like even the ones I do wear, like they don't do much anymore. But anyway, time to go back to the eye doctor. So yeah, for some of you guys might feel like it's been just like, wow, okay, hold up. Let me say this first before I go into what I was about to say. Now remember, for those of you who have been watching it since the beginning, remember I said I had a vision of somebody in a desert and just feeling like, when the hell is life gonna get better? Look at this card. Look at this freaking card. You can't make this shit up even if you wanted to. Excuse my language for those of you who don't like when readers cuss. I do cuss on my channel, so I apologize in advance. If you're not into that, I do apologize, but it's just how I read. My dad is a freaking Marine, and I grew up with a lot of cussing around me, so I just have a potty mouth, and I do apologize. But like I said, the fact that that's just crazy that I literally had a vision of that earlier And now it makes sense. It all comes back full circle as to why I was feeling, or seeing rather, this is where the clairvoyance comes in. I'm starting to strengthen that gift. So the fact that I saw that so vividly and then I see that card come up, that's kind of crazy. Um, but yeah, so I had made like a whole spiel about that earlier in the reading. So there you go. What we got? Ooh, baby. Wealth. Yas. Excuse me. All right, we have you are working towards real wealth and prosperity in your life. Keep investing in yourself and looking into long-term career planning. I like it. Yeah, baby, I like it like that. So it looks like there are going to be some changes coming in for you guys. Um, I really like this reading. This is so nice to see, you know, especially like for those of you who are like, well, just all of you really look at this opportunity. I feel like everybody's got different things going on, and it is a collective reading, so I'm trying to touch upon as many of those things as I can. So there are people who are like getting ready to work on a creative project. There are people who are working towards finding new work. Um, Either way you slice it, you guys have so much potential to do something really, really great. And I do also feel like a lot of you guys are going to be helping people in some capacity. So whatever these doors of opportunity are for you guys, I love this. And hit your girl up and be like, girl, so guess what happened? I just got this job, or I just started this, I just started that. And I'm just going to be, yes, my little earth angels, you done it. All right, so it says opportunity. Doors are opening up for you. You have the chance to change jobs, start a business, or invest in a new venture. Just do it. So we did see that card earlier, but it's officially on the table now, right? So opportunity, opportunity, opportunity. Okay. And wow, wow, wow. Come on now. Many choices. Seven of Cups. Those of you who are tarot readers understand where I'm going with this. All about choices, right? The Seven of Cups. Many choices. So what does it say? You have options. Exactly. I said that earlier. And I said that that's going to work to your advantage. Even if you don't see them right now, get creative and look around. Pull a card for each option to see what's best. Being that this is a collective reading, obviously, it's going to be different for everybody anyway. But I might just pull a card to clarify that card just because. Let's see what it says. I do have wisdom on the top of the deck, but I am going to still pull a card for that card because it literally says pull a card for this card to see what happens. Um, it says you are called to serve as a mentor. Look at that. We talked about this earlier. As a mentor for someone or as a role model and guide who can show and a guide who can show the way. There we go. Use your wisdom and experience. What the fuck? We just talked about this. Come on. You can't make this shit up. We have independence. We talked about this earlier too. It's time to go out on your own and create your own business. This is why I got drawn to pull from my entrepreneur deck. Or try something well outside of your comfort zone. Wow. All right, so I'm going to get a card to clarify that many options because, like I said, I know it's going to be different for everybody. But let's just get like one card to try to get like something that's going to hopefully resonate with like the whole collective or the majority at least. Clarify many choices. Thank you. Give and take. Be open to giving and receiving to keep the flow of abundance going. For give someone a chance and ask for what your heart desires. Yes. Yes. So with these options, you want to make sure what I'm getting with that is you're going to have a lot of different options and choices here with whatever it is that you choose to do, right? Or want to do. Whether it's the different jobs that you apply for or, working with different business partners, whatever the case may be, it's going to be different for everybody. So take it as it resonates. But they're just saying that you do not want to be bending over backwards for anybody, right? Ass kissing and all that. You want to make sure that whatever positions that you take are going to give you opportunities. They're going to open up doors of opportunities and stability, right? We're not talking about the wishy-washy, working 9 to 5, the snail race type. Like, no, like, no more of that, right? It's like, been there, done that. Can you I just heard Shaka Khan, tell me something good. Like, yeah. Like, if it's not going to what does my dad always say? If it ain't if it ain't the real shit, then it's bullshit. My dad says that all the time. Like, give me the details, give me the deets of what this is supposed to entail for me. How does this benefit me so that I can also benefit you? Equal give and take. Because if it sounds like bullshit, it is. If it walks like a duck and quacks like a duck, it's a duck. So it's like we're not playing that game anymore, right? Been there, done that. We want options that are going and choices that are going to allow for growth and expansion. There you go. One more from here. Thank you. Journey, and this looks like a desert as well. You may move to a new place for work or travel for work. Exploring the world gives you the experience you need to succeed. Wow, looks a lot like that other card. But yep. Look. It's like it tells a story, right? So they're both in the desert. One is like, fuck, how long is it going to take me to get where I'm trying to go? And then finally, you've met where you're trying to go. The end of the journey, that part of the journey anyway. All that progression, right? All that hard work that you had to put into getting to where you're going, and then finally see the light. It's like, and now I see the light from Tangled. But yeah, it's like all that hard work is going to start to pay off, is what I'm getting from this. Honest work on the bottom of the deck. It's okay to have a job that's not very glamorous. I get it. I actually work at a liquor store. How ironic is that? At my other job anyway. Get some experience to help you move up in the future. Success is a process, not a quick fix. Exactly. Yeah, sometimes we gotta have to do some jobs that we don't necessarily like, but we gotta do what we gotta do. And then when we get the right opportunities that come along, this is when we can cut ties. So we have cutting ties rather. You may need to leave your current situation. Sorry, I talk too fast sometimes. Like, I'm reading and my mouth talks faster and my brain thinks too quick sometimes. So let's try again. You may need to leave your current position or look for something better. Ending a job doesn't mean burning bridges. Go with grace. Yes, bow out gracefully. Do what you gotta do. Leave in an amicable way where, you're on the same page. You're just both able to say, okay, well, I gotta do what I have to do for myself. That way you can still use people as references and all that stuff. Middle of the deck, we have success. Whoop, whoop. The path you are on will bring you success and prosperity if you just keep going. Lots of little steps take you a long way. You're on the right track. Exactly. You're on the right track. All right, let's see. I'll read from here, and I think these will be the final messages. This is the entrepreneur deck. If this isn't the last deck I read from, I might read from the angel answers, and then that will officially be the end of the reading. And like I said, thank you for those of you who have been rocking with me for the whole reading. I really appreciate you guys, because I'm definitely trying to build up my channel and to see some new faces, or names I should say, and just to get your interaction within the chat and things like that. Very, very appreciated. So thank you very, very much. If you haven't done so already, hit that subscribe button. Just trying to build this page up slowly, right? That number 13 just keeps on popping up. I'm going through my ego death just like a lot of you guys are. One of my things I have to release right now is my my attachment to the results. It's a big one for me. So I get like really sad when I like do a really good reading and I'm like, nobody watched it. And I'm trying to get out of that because it's like, it just means it didn't resonate with everybody, right? But it doesn't mean it was a bad reading or I'm a bad reader or any of those things. It just means that I have to keep being diligent about, putting out good content, pay attention to what other people are putting out there, and do things like, I won't say similar, but just being mindful. People who are readers who are watching understand what I'm trying to say, right? We always have to be within the competition. We got to make sure that we're doing something similar and maybe slightly different so that we stand out, basically. And that's with anything, right? If you're a business owner, you gotta do the same thing. How the fuck am I gonna make wings different? You know what I mean? Maybe I want wings right now. I don't know why I used wings as an example, but what's gonna make my sauce different from everybody else's sauce? Everybody's making buffalo wings, but I'm gonna make something different about my buffalo wings. Like, you know what I mean? Like my pizza, damn. Everybody's making pizza in this damn town, but how am I gonna make my pizza different? You know what I mean? Like we anytime you're doing any type of business venture or anything like that, you have to make sure you're paying. I wouldn't be shocked if one of the cards in this deck say something about looking at your competition. But yeah, so I say that just to make the point that I'm learning that with the slow growth of my channel, I can't keep on letting results or sorry, my attachment to results deter my path. I'm helping people regardless, right? Even if it's one or two people who end up watching each time I go on, if that. Like, at least I know that people are connecting and I'm making a connection with you guys, and I'm doing something positive, and I'm using my voice and my platform in a positive way. That's really all that matters, and I have to start saying that to myself more. So even the healer needs some healing, all right? So on the bottom of the deck we have brainstorm. I talked about planning and stuff earlier, right? Keep fresh ideas flowing for your business. If you feel stuck, take some quiet time. Take some quiet time with your journal and write down everything that comes. Come in full circle, right? So let's get 3 or 4 from here. Thank you. Offer. Identify the specific qualities of your ideal client or customer and make solid no-brainer offers that they're happy to buy. Kind of goes back to a little bit of what I was saying in a way, right? This is a different approach to what I was saying, but for instance, with what I do, right? I have to kind of be cognizant of the audience. I have to say, okay, so what are people trying to figure out in their life that makes them want to watch tarot in the first place? Everybody wants to watch love readings. I'm like, okay, so what can I do to separate myself from love readings just a tad bit, right? So I'm doing, I do those two, of course, because it's almost like a no-brainer. You have to do that. But I try to figure out other ways that I can resonate with the audiences. Childhood trauma might be a theme sometimes. What's the tea to be a little bit dramatic sometimes. And then I try to, put a spin on different things, add a little bit of humor, right? So on and so forth. So it's the same concept, right? What are you selling, and making it where people are going to gravitate towards you and say, oh, I like this person. I think I want to work with them, for whatever it is that you're offering, if you're helping to solve a problem, right? That's one of the things, like if you're a coach, for instance, like that's one of the things that you're supposed to be doing is, what problem are you solving and how are you going to solve it? Got a problem? Yo, I'll solve it. Check out the verse by the DJ Revive. Ice, baby. All right, sorry. I'm so lame. Let me stop. That was really cringe. I'm so sorry. What the fuck was that? I'm like this all day, by the way, guys. Even at my other job, working at the school, minus the cuss words. Like I have my coworkers cracking up all day. They're like, "Yo, you are hilarious." I'm like, I like to add spunk to the class, man. It's a hard job, and we gotta, suck it up, Buttercup. We gotta make it fun. But yeah, so you guys get where I'm going with that. All right, what we got? Flow. Get more done by entering the flow state. Completely and joyfully focus on what you're working on without multitasking. Yeah. just going with it, right? Go with it, man. Maybe smoke a J if you have to. Actually, I'm not joking. If that's what you're into, hey, go for it. But yeah, being in more of a zen flow like state, being outside might be helpful. I know she's not outside in that picture, but we did see an energy of maybe spending time outside, right? Getting connected to the earth. That might help you when it comes to coming up with ideas and stuff like that, and feeling a little bit more calmness while you're coming up with ideas. Especially with the weather being so nice. Today was so pretty here in Connecticut, and on the like the Connecticut and New York line, it was so beautiful. We have attract. Focus on attracting and building relationships with clients who are happy to buy your products and services. That's what I'm trying to do. And let's get one more from this deck. Ooh, what we got? Oh, got two. All right. So we have broadcast. Develop your unique voice. Then get your message out to your ideal audience. Very funny because I spoke about your ideal audience earlier. Consider starting a podcast or a radio show. I said all of these things. Come on. Spirit is not playing with y'all. And we have finance. Make a monthly budget for your business and personal income and expenses. Sorry. Always be clear and specific about your finances. So again, that sense of planning. Very, very important, I feel, at this time for you guys. Bottom of the deck, we have set goals. Hence the finance card. Get a beautiful planner that inspires you to write down your dreams. Where's that card again? Now it's under too many things. I'm not going to be able to find it. Oh, there it goes. I found it. Your dreams. Remember I called you guys dreamers. Actually, the little thing on here says, let your dreams be bigger than your fears. Wow, that's pretty deep. And it goes back to what we were talking about earlier. All coming back for a full circle. Let me read everything. I apologize. Get a beautiful planner that inspires you and write down your dreams and goals. Then promise yourself that you will make them come true. What the hell is going on? I literally said all these things already. Wow. Even sometimes I get really impressed with my abilities. What I mean by that is y'all need to start giving yourself a pat on the back too, because guess what? If you don't do it for yourself, sometimes nobody else will either. You got to believe in yourselves more. I'm getting that. You know what's funny? Pause. Before I started this reading, I randomly started singing, for those of you who are, at the age where you can remember the show Arthur and the theme song. And one of the lines in there is believe in yourself, for that's the place to start. Like growing up, I always thought that was such a great theme song. I still know every word to it. I used to love that show. And I randomly was singing it to myself before I started this reading. Wow. It was a message. It's one of those things where you don't realize it until it happens. You're like, oh shit, that's fucking crazy. All right, so writing is important again. We talked about this before. So we have write. Copywriting is the art of persuasion. Learn how to craft words that speak to the heart of your ideal clients. Wow, very cool. Middle of the deck, we have prioritize. Focus, get focused, baby. Narrow your focus. Split energy leads to poor results, girl or boy. I can relate, okay? Prioritize your most important business tasks and get them done first. I need to sit my ass down and really work on this. This is one of my flaws right now. Or shortcomings is a better word. This is one of my shortcomings. I have to sit down and really start planning things accordingly, because Lord knows I struggle with that a lot. And I feel like, a lot of my my lack of progression, I can kind of probably put onto that. The fact that I need to do more, right? A lot of people probably could relate. But guess what happened when I split the deck? Success, baby. All right, so we're going to get 3 or 4 messages, and that'll be the end of the reading. Like I said, I really appreciate the guys not the guys, but those of you guys who were able, I don't know what the hell's going on with my words. Those of you guys who were able to stick around and watch, I really, really appreciate you guys. You guys are absolutely amazing. I hope that you've been resonating with the message. If you haven't done so already, hit that like button. If you haven't done so, hit the subscribe button, the notification bell, so you know that I'm on or when I post, all that good stuff. If there was anything in particular with this reading that stood out to you, you could comment it in the comment section, so on and so forth, because all those things help me understand that I'm doing well with my audience and things like that. So you guys are greatly appreciated. Bottom of the deck, we have recovery here after I shuffled. So you've probably just gone through so much and you're in like that recovery period where maybe that's why my throat is like acting weird. I wasn't talking like this just a second ago. Excuse me. Yeah, I'm like struggling to get my words out. Maybe it's because, after just going through so much, it's like you don't know what to say sometimes. It's like, damn, I'm kind of going through it and going with the wave of life, and sometimes you just feel a little bit like you're at a loss for words or something. I don't know, but there's a time to actually use your voice, use your circumstances, and use that as a platform and a way to attract people. If this is what you're gonna be doing, my son just sent me a message. Practice forgiveness of some sort. That's going to be different for everyone, but I'm kind of getting forgiving even yourself, right? If you ever get down and out on yourself about, the things that you could have been doing differently and didn't do enough of and stuff like that, they're basically saying, practice forgiveness, everything's a learning process and you are a work in progress. So don't be so hard on yourself. Learn how to let those things go a bit. So that you can kind of work towards the things that you want. Again, catalyst of change, right? Be patient. We have wait here. Be patient, right? Plan things out. Don't do anything all willy-nilly. I said that earlier. Make sure that you're decisive about your choices, right? Take heed. Hear those dogs all of a sudden barking really fucking loud out there out of nowhere? Like, caution, right? Approach the situations with a sense of, like I said, caution, and make sure that, you don't just easily jump into situations, especially when it comes to career and finance, that, can deter you or set you back. It's the last thing you want, right? So just, map it out, you know what I mean? Be patient and then go from there. Practice a sense of temperance. I'm getting. I did feel like the temperance vibe earlier, even though it's not in the spread. But yeah, tempering yourself. Divine timing is at play. Get more information. Exactly. Get more information. Research things. Don't just go after shit. You know what I mean? If a person comes to you with like some type of offer, they want to work together or whatever, look them up, right? Like, do your research, ask them questions. That's fair. And Spirit said, hell yeah, that's what you're supposed to do. Yes, everything I just said, accurate. They're like, yeah, don't just go, jumping the gun, throwing yourself into situations that don't make no damn sense, because then you're gonna fuck your own, circumstances up. Let's get one more. And choose a new direction. So I think a lot of you guys you're like in this like fork in the road kind of energy. Interestingly enough, 2 people in the chat, 3 likes, adds up to 5. 5 is all about major changes. So, excuse me. So you might see some big changes within the next few months when it comes to some of these decisions that you're working on. This is going to provide a sense of balance. Talked about balance earlier. Compromise, right? Sense of balance, equal give and take, and trust the process. You will see some changes happening. I know I said that was the last thing I was going to pull from, but I got guided to pull from here, and this is officially going to be the end of the reading. Because look at this. When I split the deck, Pretty important, right? And my phone's about to die, so look at that. Perfect timing. When I split the deck, we have spiritual growth. You are currently experiencing a lesson required for your spiritual evolution. Exactly. Thank you, Spirit, for more confirmations of the things I already said. An environment. Now is a good time to clear, clean, and declutter your environment, whatever way, shape, or form that is for you. Whether that's your your physical vessel, whether that's the space in which you inhabit, whether that's people in your life that you gotta have to drop like a bad habit or a bad job, whatever the case. Like, you know what that means for you if it resonates. And this is a part of your spiritual growth. So just know that this is all meant to happen exactly the way it's happening. And, just take heed with precaution with all the choices that you're making, because everything that you're doing at this time, it all is going to lead to, this greater version of self and the things that, are going to surround that, money, prosperity, just a greater sense of being, right? You're going to see a lot of changes, I feel. Yeah, spiritual teacher is here again. Well, no, spiritual lesson was there or whatever it was before. But now we have spiritual teacher. And I guess like it's like kind of like giving me like almost a similar vibe. And that's why I'm like, wait, it's here again. No, it's because earlier I said something about this. It says you are being guided to step into your role as a spiritual teacher. Remember, I was talking about how a lot of you guys are natural born teachers and you're meant to help people on their paths. Yeah. Confirmation. I feel like you guys are like high priestesses or high priests type of energy. Intuition is here. Um, it says you are learning to embrace and trust your inner knowing on the top of the deck here. So, I mean, that could be one of your spiritual gifts. I did see the psychic card like when I was shuffling in the other deck. It didn't show up in the actual spread, but I did see it while I was shuffling. So, some of you might have psychic abilities yourself. And it might be time for you to actually really start using them. We have mentors. We have this energy more than once in this reading. You are about to meet a person of high integrity who will guide you in the right direction. So you might meet somebody who is a mentor, or you might be a mentor yourself. This person, if you do meet somebody, might help you come into this role as a spiritual teacher in some capacity. We have restlessness. Find a way to calm the waters of your mind. First card we saw in the tarot earlier was the Eight of Swords, right? Same energy. Getting out of your head, right? Not thinking so much. One more. That might be very significant to people in here. 3 likes, number 23 on that card. And we have wishful thinking. You are learning how to manifest the life you desire. So we saw manifestation or some form of manifestation. About how many times did we see manifestations in this reading? I would say about 4 times, something like that. So you guys are great at manifesting. So this is just a time to focus on that. Another one of my girls are here. Lioness Creation Designs. She's amazing. She really does it all. She does it all. She has a podcast. She has a website. She does health conscious stuff. She makes jewelry. She knows how to read tarot. She knows how to read natal charts. Like, she literally is a Jacqueline of all trades. Trying to think of a feminine Jack name. But she's awesome. She's amazing. So yeah, check her out. Because she definitely is really, really great at what she does too. So I am about to close out the reading though. But hopefully you'll check it out from the beginning if you can, or when you have time. Bottom of the deck, we have Shooting Star. You are a shooting star. You're about to step into your fullest potential. Love that for you guys. Top of the deck, we have Spiritual Teacher again. Come on. Can't make this stuff up even if you wanted to. And middle of the deck, Approval. Ooh, this card. When I see this card, I feel like Spirit's always talking some shit. I'm like, damn. They talking to me right now. Okay. Let's see. What does it say? Choose to approve yourself and others will too. Exactly. Remember I talked about building up that confidence within and being able to like take that leadership in your own life, and then people are going to look at you and be like, damn, they're about their shit. I think I want to follow their lead a little bit. That's how it works. If you're looking for approval from everybody else, you're never going to be satisfied with yourself. I had to learn that the hard way, and I'm still learning it, quite frankly. Um, you can't, you just can't do that. It doesn't work that way. It just doesn't. So the key is being able to approve of yourself, right? Look at yourself as the motherfucking man or the motherfucking chick, that boss. Okay? You gotta look at yourself that way, and then that's when people can be like, what the fuck is that? Okay, okay, I see them. I see them. And then they're gonna be looking at you like, okay, I think that's somebody who I'm trying to get jiggy with. Like when I say jiggy, I know that sounded really weird, but what I mean is, because I'm being silly now because I'm getting a little bit tired. This is when I know that the reading is done because I'm like, okay, like crashing. Um, but yeah, like basically when you start to exude that confidence where when you know you're the shiznit and other people can see it too, that's when people are gonna be like, okay, this is a person who I can trust, right? They seem like they know what they're doing or what they're talking about. Hence, like I said, my girl here, Linus Creation, my girl Fifi, I have already learned a lot from her already in a very short period of time, just from like the past few months. And this is thanks to again Lati. um, the Soulful King was on here too. So yeah, like I said, that confidence that we start to build where people are able to look at us and say, oh, wow, they know what they're doing. They know what they're talking about and they're trustworthy. Boom, this is now somebody who I want to be acquainted with or I want to work with or, I feel comfortable, purchasing from, whatever the case, right? So on and so forth. Like, I think you guys see where I'm going with that. But with all that said, I love you guys also very much, and I do appreciate you guys for tuning in. You guys have been like trickling in like throughout the reading, and it's been a blessing. You guys are awesome. So thank you for the continued support, or those who are like new to the channel. Thank you for your support as well. This is all the things that are going to help me kind of grow my channel and reach out to be able to reach out to more people and be able to do what it is I feel I'm called to do. Hence this reading, right? So the same way that I'm feeling like I'm finally on my path, I hope that you got a little bit of insight from this as well, so that you could be on yours as well. So with all that said, I love you guys so very much, and until next time, bye.